and Artist, Eric Debenham 87, they're all pushing now. 7's Peter Skaysbrook. 47, Elmer McCabe gets away well with Eric Debenham. Debenham will probably hit him as they go to the top of the hill, but it is green. Debenham and McCabe, and it's McCabe hits the lead. As further back, people are still wrestling with the vagaries, not only of British bikes, but Honda number 28, refusing to start. Colin Saylard, who fell yesterday. Number 10, a late one away, Ray Schultes on an AJS 83. And finally, the grid, I was going to say the grid clear, but going up the hill, 54, or 154, Bruce Rowley on a Cotton Cobra. 1962. It's going but just, and rice pudding skins are quite safe. Eric Debenham's hit the lead with Elmer McCabe tucked in behind him, and in third place behind him is Alan Puckett. And McCabe and Puckett stay with Debenham, the hard-charging man, on his Manx Norton, a 350 Manx Norton. Puckett making McCabe work fairly hard in second place. And now for the first of 5 times on to pit straight. Puckett tucked in tightly. In third place. Fourth place is an argument between 92 Brian Kemsley and 7 Peter Skaysbrook, and that's very even. And so too are the leading 3 as they go over the top. Still though, with Debenham on 87 leading from McCabe 47 and Alan Puckett on 98.
And isn't that a sound you go thousands of miles to hear? Is it not? In fact, I suppose it could be said George Wilson came thousands of miles to hear just that sound here today.
He came these thousands of miles to get away from it, I suspect.
Don't be like that.
As down at Honda Corner, it's Debenham from McCabe and Alan Puckett doing a grand job. By far the oldest of those 3. An artist who produced a beautiful book on classic motorcycles, one of which was appropriately endorsed by Puckett and the other 2 authors, and presented to John Surtees the other night. But still, there's not 1 second between Debenham, McCabe and Puckett's making a little bit of ground on McCabe as they go up the hill. They're all closing on Debenham, who just seems to be fading off the pace 1 touch. Perhaps his bike's just getting a little bit, losing a little bit of performance. Back there in 6th place, heading a pair. Bikes is Alan Burt on 5, his 7R AJS. Playing well, a former Isle of Man representative from Australia.
And I see number 7, Peter Skaysbrook, back in 4th place, enjoying a very spirited night indeed. But as I speak, they're now locked almost together. Puckett tries an underneath passing move into Honda Corner, but it's still McCabe, Elmer McCabe, and Puckett enjoying a very spirited night, both on 7R AJS machines, and it's Debenham still with a very slender lead on the Manx Norton as they drop into Winfield Corner, under brakes. Very, very close racing indeed, and Puckett closes, tries an outside pass, tries again for an underneath pass, but the superior acceleration of Elmer McCabe 7R holds it just at bay. It's Debenham, Debenham very wide, McCabe, Puckett, nothing between the 3 at all.
In 4th and 5th place is 92 Brian Kemsley, and he's still just holding out Peter Skaysbrook. But I frankly look in awe at Alan Puckett, who is not a race motorcyclist at all by comparison with Eric Debenham and Elmer McCabe, and a much older man than either of the 2 in front of him, and he is going like a demon and doing it well.
But it's all eyes on the far side of the circuit for Mazda Curve to see who first comes into view. And here they come, 3 riders, very, very close indeed. Is Debenham and his second place, McCabe. Puckett will try an underneath passing move into Honda Corner, but can't quite make it. 1, 2, 3 riders through Honda Corner very quickly indeed. A slower rider in their way on the short straight. They'll dispatch him no doubt before the braking area at Winfield, but it's Debenham and balked. Elmer McCabe balked by the slow rider, gives Puckett a chance to go round the outside, which he does into a beautiful second place on the 7R AJS. It's the long way around, but he holds a good second position. Debenham still nicely clear, blue flag out, 1 lap to go. Debenham a wide exit from the corner, Puckett in 2nd place. 3rd spot now, Elmer McCabe will have his job ahead of him now to catch and hopefully try to pass Puckett, who's holding a very good 2nd place, Will.
Alan Puckett's riding brilliantly. As I say, he's a much older man than the others. He doesn't have the race experience, and he is going wonderfully well. Alan Burt, incidentally, is getting in and mixing it with both Kemsley on 92 and Peter Skaysbrook on 7.
And in fact, there's a next fourth position at the top of the hill as they go out of our sight. But here to side again, and it's Debenham, very wide exit from Mazda Curve, and he's got Puckett breathing down his back wheel as they go through. Honda cracks the power open on this Manx Norton, the 7R AJS, not quite as quick a machine apparently, but holding his own very well. Watch the kamikaze effort, under brakes as they go into Winfield Corner. It's Debenham on 87, and it's Puckett in second position, bringing up the rear, not very far away. 47 is Elmer McCabe, but he's only got to stay aboard to take off this very exciting 350cc event. It's Debenham from Puckett, very close at the finish, and Elmer McCabe, very fine ride indeed, particularly from Alan Puckett.
Alan Puckett, I think you're brilliant. That was a wonderful ride. A chap of around 60 years of age, who, as I say, is nothing like the race experience of Eric Debenham, who was hard charging in open meetings not very long ago. Fourth was Alan Burt indeed on bike number 5, his 7R AJS. And Elmer McCabe, hesitating there down at Winfield to lap a rider, was gathered up very quickly and certainly by Alan Puckett. And once he got into that second place, there was no way he was going to relinquish it. All he was concentrating on doing was to see if he could make up that half second or so on the race leader, Debenham. Debenham's beside him, Jim Skaysbrook, Jackie Saunders and Alan Burt. They're on S for Surtees, 87 for Debenham, 34 for Skaysbrook, 53 for Saunders and 5 for Alan Burt. 137 is Ken Lucas, 68 is Merv Berry on the second row, 84 beside him is Peter Addison, and 7 is Peter Skaysbrook. The third row is 98. Alan Puckett, wonderful man. 127, Michael Lucas. 8, they're waiting for the starting flag. And they're away, and it's Skaysbrook that's headed by Alan Burt. Surtees is 4th. Might be relegated to 5th. He gets away 4th, and he slots in behind. And Jackie Saunders heads him too as they go up the hill. So it was Skaysbrook and Alan Burt who jumped away best, with Alan Burt on 5, heading the pack away. Surtees content to tuck in behind 53, Jackie Saunders, as they went up over the hill for the first time, and this is fairly similar to what he did yesterday, in no great rush at all, but watch the finesse of the man, the rhythm, the smoothness and his speed under brakes. Watch his lines too, because they're glorious. He's in 4th place at the moment. Down to Honda Corner, he's in 3rd place. Easily done. He's on a tight entry to the corner though, but that's no worry. He still holds 3rd as he comes with Skaysbrook on the outside and tries to get him, but Surtees has got too much speed out of Honda Corner, so it's Jackie Saunders and Alan Burt, only ones in front of him. He tried to get under Saunders. Saunders wasn't having it. Skaysbrook goes to the outside of him, but can't get him there, so Surtees is still 3rd. And it's Alan Burt, Jackie Saunders, John Surtees. Skaysbrook, Surtees is still 3rd. Eric Debenham is 5th on 87. Up the top of the hill they go, and I tell you what, having felt his measure yesterday, there's a few riders there in that pack who are very determined to try and finish in front of this legend of 2- and 4-wheel racing.
Very determined indeed, Will, and I think it's true to say that if Surtees goes away with this race, as he will may in the next couple of laps, you watch the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th place. 3rd place right now.
What Surtees is determined to do is not stick his neck out as he goes to 2nd place. He's into 2nd, he's into 1st as he comes to Honda Corner. He rounded up 2 riders under brakes for Honda, Alan Burt and Jackie Saunders on 53, and he did it so easily, and he heads them by lengths galore as Jackie Saunders goes back into 2nd place on 53. Then Skaysbrook rounds him up on 34 and goes to 3rd, and Alan Burt, who led 2 corners ago, is 4th. But it is Surtees. Look at the style of the man. Jackie Saunders, Jim Skaysbrook, John Surtees, Alan Burt, Eric Debenham, and on 7, Peter Skaysbrook. Wonderful riding there from Surtees. Peter Addison on 84 is out on his own, and behind him, further back, is Dick Grice on 8.
Almost a repeat of the performance yesterday, Will, when Surtees got to the lead, and Saunders, riding very, very well indeed, kept him not so much in sight, but a matter of 3 or 4 lengths in arrears, although Surtees did it easily as he come through Mazda Curve using all of the road. Saunders still in a very close 2nd place. Is it in 3rd spot at the moment? Is 34, is it? Yes, it's Skaysbrook, the ex-motocross racer, trying very hard indeed in 3rd place, but it's John Surtees doing it quite easily out in front. but Saunders will not be denied. He's closing up under brakes through Winfield Corner, riding as only Jack Saunders, as we know him of old, a very hard and tough Triumph punter, can ride. He will give Surtees nothing at all, and he'll ask for nothing in return, although Surtees is doing it at this stage, I think, fairly easily.
Eric Debenham slips to 6th behind 7 Peter Skaysbrook. What a great sextet at the front end of the field, and quite a gap back to Peter Addison on 84. Well, the amount of braking that Surtees got out of his Manx Norton down the Honda corner was quite incredible, to round up 2 guys who in no way wanted to be headed, were determined and thought they had the corner covered, and he didn't take 1 but 2.
Absolutely.
It was quite incredible.
And when you overtake people like Saunders, one of the past masters of late braking and applying the big stick early, and look at Saunders go. Saunders is going to range up under brakes alongside Surtees into Winfield Corner. Surtees no doubt will shut him out, but Saunders is giving absolutely every last ounce of effort into trying to peg back John Surtees, the multiple world champion. But it's Surtees holding him at bay, as I said, probably riding still within himself, where Saunders may well be on the ragged edge, but not much between them at all.
And Jackie Saunders is very serious as they go over the top of the hill. He wants Surtees, and he's trying very hard, and if Surtees is 49 on the 11th of February, Saunders is even older than that. But this is great racing. Great skills from 2 fine riders. Still Surtees leading though. Mazda corner, very quick.
Look at Saunders using half as much road again on the exit.
Saunders is tighter into Honda than Surtees. They accelerate out hard. Skaysbrook can't quite stay with them on 34. Alan Burt's losing a little bit of ground on 5, and behind him on 7, Peter Skaysbrook's pretty close to him as Eric Debenham on 87 slips back from the bunch. But Saunders here is really showing how to ride. He's got tremendous incentive in front of him as they come on to the final lap now. Surtees not only looks back over his shoulder, but he stands up in the foot pegs and looks back at Jackie Saunders, and does Surtees lay the bike over as he goes over the top of the hill. He's beautiful as he goes over there. It's a very quick corner, and then he's got to stand it up, brake like stink, and get into the Dunlop loop.
I might say too, Will, it's an object lesson for a lot of riders who ride with elbows, knees, feet and teeth and who knows what else hanging in the slipstream, because is not John Surtees so... Look at that, a change of line. Very tight line on the exit from Mazda Curve to overtake a slower rider. 1, 2, 3 through Honda corner. Not much between them at all. It's Surtees still with that slight edge as they go down onto that short so-called straight towards Winfield Corner. Saunders will try kamikaze under brakes. But it's Surtees safely through Winfield with 1 corner to go.
Skaysbrook did best out of that balk as Jackie Saunders comes at Surtees, but can't get him. Surtees is quick out of the corner. He's quick into Wonderlick corner onto pit straight, and it's going to be a victory for John Surtees, the great rider, in front of Jackie Saunders on 53 and Jim Skaysbrook on 34, and they finished within about 0.3 of a second of each other. What a tremendous finish, and what great riding from the man that the Italians nicknamed Il Grande Jean, and from whom he became known as Big John. He's not a big man, he's stayed very fit and trim, but a big man in his approach to the sport, his dedication to it, and his ability. They're away, and it's Alan Burt, Skaysbrook, and Jackie Saunders trails Surtees. Gill is in there with them. Surtees is into 2nd place. Tony Gill is in 3rd behind him. Jackie Saunders didn't get away so well, but Skaysbrook and Burt jumped well on 34 and 5 respectively.
Yeah, and Saunders is 5th as they breast the rise out of our sight, but Tony Gill is in pretty exalted company with that little CB72 250cc Honda. Certainly be very interesting to see where he is after the end of this first lap.
Should be an Ariel Red Hunter, actually, 1962, according to the program.
May well be the Ariel. I had no chance to see it before it took off. Simple as that. Surtees in 3rd place, 2nd place under brakes, coming into Honda corner. And it's still in front, the Corrish Ariel. Certainly is the Corrish Ariel with Tony Gill aboard. And there's Alan Burt and Surtees vying for 2nd place under brakes as Surtees into the lead on Winfield corner.
Not quite. Gill
Not
comes
quite.
out in front of him, appeared to have left a big slot there, but Surtees wasn't really close enough to grab him. And so it's Gill on 76, the aerial red hunter, heading Surtees, heading Alan Burt, Jim Skaysbrook, Jackie Saunders, and on 7 is Peter Skaysbrook, followed on 94 by Brian Clarkson. And then Brian Lemon in the green leathers. Well, Surtees is going to have to work hard in this one because Tony Gill, a young, fair-haired Englishman, is pretty determined to finish in front of one of his idols. Got a good start.
It will be quite surprising to see him do it on an aerial red hunter, but in fact he's still in front. What an exit, and Surtees not playing around either, I might say. Very wide exit from Mazda corner, but it's Tony Gill through Honda, Surtees in second place. There's Pushrod, road-going, home-tuned aerial red hunter, holding at bay, only for the moment, I might say. Watch this under brakes, holding at bay a multiple world champion on a very, very swift Manx Norton. But through Winfield, it's still Tony Gill, and he's nicely clear, absolutely nicely clear of the Manx Norton. No doubt the little pushrod machine will jumps out of corners a whole lot better.
Yes, gets out very well. Some of the bikes in the other race were a bit quicker than John Surtees, as Alan Burt heads Jackie Saunders, and on 7, Peter Skaysbrook's now in front of Alan Burt. But you could notice in the previous race how Surtees' bike wasn't as quick up the hill and under acceleration as, for instance, a couple of the bikes that he ultimately beat. So waiting for them to appear around towards Mazda.
Pretty fair effort for a pushrod aerial, which is still in front, I might say. Look at the speed through Mazda corner. And Surtees with the bike cranked well over. Certainly, I'd say, is trying harder than I saw him try in that previous race, but on the exit from Honda corner, it's still Tony Gill, Surtees.
Made an enormous amount of ground into and out of Honda, Surtees. He really did. Hasn't he got that corner sorted out? Down to Winfield, though. Gill gets out of this corner pretty well. His gearing seems to be pretty good. And again, he does so. Gill doing it nicely and travelling fast. Surtees tucks down hard. And off in dogged pursuit, followed by Alan Burt, Jackie Saunders. And trailing that group of 4 is Peter Skaysbrook. Sorry, he's third in that group of 4 on 7.
I might say this, Will, that if we remember the previous race in which Surtees and Saunders were dicing, Saunders now is back in 4th place in that field, and Tony Gill has actually pulled out a slightly 5 metres or so lead more over Surtees on that lap, and 4 riders in very close pursuit through Mazda corner, but at the moment it's Tony Gill. Surtees probably some 35 to 40 metres behind as they go into Winfield corner. Under brakes, Surtees closing the gap, of course, a time gap, but in 3rd, 4th and 5th place there, 3 riders dicing very, very closely indeed. Saunders, under brakes comes Skaysbrook, and it's Alan Burt, but it's still Tony Gill. Listen to that pushrod single under the commentary box.
And Surtees, Tony Gill lapping in 60.8.
60.8, that's probably the fastest lap we've had here today. Surtees reckoned he was getting around in probably 62s, which may well be right if we look at the 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th place riders. So Tony Gill has forced Surtees to lap probably a second faster than he was in that previous event.
And I think Tony Gill's got it, but look at them down towards Honda corner and watch how much ground Surtees makes there, even allowing for the slower speed and therefore the compression of distance between them. Surtees is very quick through that section, but Tony Gill has him well and truly covered, and on 76, the aerial red hunter, I think, is going to victory by... He's got it well done. And further back, Jackie Saunders is absolutely level pegging with Peter Skaysbrook. Jim Skaysbrook on 34 and Alan Burt's in behind them. They come up to the finishing line though, and it's Anthony Gill on 76 beats John Surtees. Can't catch him. And that was another 60-second lap. And then this feud for 3rd place comes through, and it's Peter Skaysbrook heading Jackie Saunders, Jim Skaysbrook, and Alan Burt.
Graham Geddes, the boy to watch in this event, Will. On the
Graham Gates with trouble on 63.
Graham Gates, I should say, I'm sorry.
I think he's got clutch trouble. He can't stop the thing. So, wants them to go. And Graham Gates storms through to the lead. Well, that's one of the best starts I've ever seen. Graham Gates was at the rear end of the field after coming once through the field and indicating that he couldn't release the or couldn't get the clutch out to stop the machine. He cruised round back to the end of the field again, said, drop the flag now, more or less. And he was just on the move, and he got a brilliant start, and he's hoed through the field, and he leads.
And I think he's the man to beat in this event because he's been riding like a blur all day. And in fact, here he comes through Mazda Corner now in a very nice first place.
Yes, he's got more than a second over the next place bike. Roy Dennison, I can see back in 5th place. Sort of position that Roy Dennison doesn't like very much. He's 4th place now. Gates not getting away any on this particular lap. Roy Dennison's 3rd now. So he's really working on the problem in this 5-lap race. But the man that's leading is Graham Gates on 63. From in 2nd place on 94 is Brian Clark. Roy Dennison right on his hammer. Dennison riding up to the top of the hill. Chalcino right behind him on 42. Clarkson in front of him on 94. But Graham Gates, the man who bolted from the start on the Norton 99, the 1960, 650.
That is well clear through Mazda Corner again. Will, in fact, has pulled out quite a commanding lead, at least another 40 metres that time through. And as I said, he probably can't stop because he's got some sort of clutch trouble, but by no means is he a man ever to be trifled with. Well clear, but look at the 3 riders in 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and there's Dennison in 3rd place, trying desperately to get round Brian Clarkson, and does so under brakes, but Clarkson will pull up alongside him under brakes. Watch the kamikaze through the corner. Clarkson on a faster line will exit first and certainly hold at bay, or try to hold at bay, and miss out on doing so, Dennison.
So that it's now Gates from Dennison. Clarkson's gone to 4th, Dennison 2nd, and in between is Chalciner in 3rd and 42. 143 comes through to 5th place, that's Dave Blissett. And he just told David Dreschler as he went up the hill. So they're going to be fairly strapped to catch Clarkson, to catch Gates, who at this stage has got a lead that's got to be 2 seconds at least. It's looking more like 3. It's 2 plus for sure as he comes down to Honda Corner. Roy Dennison's out wide on his exit from Mazda. Then he gets it over to the right for the entry to Honda. Scoops into there and out again, and still hard on him, Chalciner on 42. Clarkson on 94 is falling away from them just a touch. Dave Blissett, 143, is pulling clear. So that in 5th place, he's got a margin now of some couple of seconds over 6th place, which is Mick Alton on 33. Gates, Dennison, Chalciner, Clarkson, 143, Blissett. Mick Alton, 33. Then ahead of the next bunch is 135 with trouble, so that he's overtaken by Tim Sparks. Sparks coming through to head that pack of about 5 bikes, so that's David Dreschler, who's got problems on the 6T Triumph.
But at the moment it's still Graham Gates nicely clear, not nicely clear. The gap has actually closed somewhat. Will, I would say they've picked up a good 30 or 40 metres that time through. And it's Dennison coming down into Honda Corner, certainly closing the gap. Whether or not the machine in the lead has gone off the boil, I don't know, but they've certainly dramatically closed the gap, have they not? And under brakes down into Winfield Corner. Dennison closing up closer, ever closer, as they apply the big stick on the way out of Winfield. He'll dive underneath, no doubt, as they come out of Wunderlich Corner and press on up the hill. How are we going for laps to go, Will?
Blue flag this lap.
Blue flag
for
out.
Gates being caught by Dennison and by Chalciner on 42. Brian Clarkson can't stick with them. He's in 4th place. Blissett on 143. 6th place is Mick Alton. So the trouble's really slipped Dave Dreschler back. Tim Sparks is next. 74.46 are the next through. 74 is Tony Perry.
And it's Dennison in front as they come into view. 3 riders almost neck and neck through Mazda corner. Dennison into the braking area. It's sit up and it's on with the anchors, and round the outside of Graham Gates goes number 42, almost clipping the beautiful exit from that corner. Gates is going to give nothing away on this kamikaze late braking effort into the bottom corner, trying to close the gap. It's Dennison at the moment, very, very closely indeed.
Cheltenham's nearly hits the lead as he comes on to Dennison. He does. And if he holds Dennison on the run to Wimberley, he will take it. He's come from third to first in a lap. He's out so wide, but he's going to hold the lead. And it's Cheltenham, according to beats Dennison with Gates third. A brilliant run to the finish. Fourth place is Brian Clarkson, quite unable to rein them in. Circuit.
Eric Debenham, come here to race, not to muck around. Saunders, with white beard and straw hat, looks like an old man from a Hemingway novel and won't reveal his age. Debenham, who's won trophies for speedboat racing as well as for motorcycles, is 57. I'm getting too old, he says, then races as hard as ever. They've been around too long, done too many races, fallen off too many times to get really nervous. But adrenaline still flows among the front runners. It's like a world championship race each time they go out, says ACU President Arthur Blizzard. Tense and intense, they await the start. Tony Gill is a newcomer, a youngster among the veterans. When the flag drops,
27 says he was
affected as old bodies and black leathers. All have to produce their best. Gill leads Dennison early with Debenham, Saunders and others, including in hot pursuit. Now Debenham on the big 1000cc Vincent has clambered to the lead in front of Dennison, Gill, Brian Clarkson, Skaysbrook, Saunders and a snarling pack. But gearbox trouble slides Debenham down the field, now trying to hold off Saunders. It's the last lap. 2 corners remain. Suddenly the Vincent jumps out of gear again. The rider struggles vainly for control. Surprise and horror are mixed, then relieved as he moves. Typically, Tony Gill, another rider, comes to help.
Good control, just straight up.
Go sideways.
I just heard a drop out of second gear.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. I couldn't do anything about it, it just went straight in.
We were as worried about you as you were, I think, Jerry.
I think everybody was.
Well, I just about got it down before it hit the fence, but
Yeah.
I was a bit late.
Yeah. You all right?
Oh, my back still hurts.
Is it?
Yeah.
But who would begrudge them their love? The crowds love it, saluting great machines and great riders who would otherwise rarely be seen.
Historic, classic, vintage and veteran are all words you hear bandied about when racing enthusiasts and their restored machines get together at events like this one. For the record, the words do have distinct official meanings. Vintage covers bikes from 1919 to 1940, historic is 1940 to 1962, and from this year, classic is 1962 to 1972. Veterans refers to the age and experience of the rider, and at Amaroo was a race open to all classes of bikes. Gill of the Motorcycle Racing Club of New South Wales wore number 76 to victory in the historic Senior Division 1 handicap race for 126 to 500cc machines. His Ariel Red Hunter is a 500cc machine from 1962 and served him well in the same division's scratch race and the historic Unlimited, in which he came second. Anthony Gill also races in historic lightweight, ultra lightweight and junior divisions on 2 1961 machines, a 125cc Honda CB72 and a 250cc Honda CB92. There was only one sidecar event, number 20, a scratch race for historic sidecars up to 1300 cc's. Number 132 is Peter Morrison and passenger Stephen Conroy in their 1951 500cc Norton ES2. They battled it out with Barry Sievers and Jeff Little on a 650 Triumph 6T of that same year, 1951, bearing number 90. It was a race of 5 laps from a clutch start, sponsored by the Classic and Enthusiasts Motorcycle Club. Back to solo men. Number 747 was Chris Oldfield, a member of that same Classic and Enthusiasts Club, while number 140 is fellow club member Frank Zapier. Chris's 1963 650cc Triumph 6T from 1963 just pipped Frank's 10-year younger 1973 749cc Norton F750 to take out the Classic Unlimited Divisions 1 and 2 scratch race. The 2 days of racing constitute an imaginative bit of recycling, if you'll permit.
250 Suzuki.